Republicans like to pretend they care about the debt and spending, and pretend that the current election is all about the economy, when in reality they're actively threatening to keep up that economy unless they get their way on Social Security. They want to kill it. But there are also other ways that they are actively hurting our economic outlook. Aside from seeking to shove sticks of dynamite in programs that represent a benefit to millions of Americans, Republicans have not just ignored, but also impeded efforts to overhaul our unjust immigration system. This has human costs of digital, but it also has been in mind, to the tune of billions, and affects all Americans. Related story. Kevin McCarthy promises to keep his district's undocumented farmworkers vulnerable to deportation. Campaign action take legislation affecting farmworkers lacking permanent legal status. Research has shown that bills like the Farm Workforce Modernization Act could help lower both food prices and inflation, issues which Republicans have claimed they care about and have yet to make election year issues. There been a push by Senate Republicans to review this bill to the president's desk after its passage by the U.S. House last year? Of course not. And it's costing us. Like previously noted, welcoming immigrants and refugees could also help with labor shortages all over the country. Immigrant rights advocacy group America's Voice pointed to a 2022 study from Oxford Review of Economic Policy showing that the previous administration's intentional decimation of the U.S. refugee system, including historic cuts, has been costing our nation more than $9 billion annually. Relative to other immigrants, refugees resettled into the U.S. have traits that tend to confer higher productivity as workers. The research said, refugees are more educated than non-refugee immigrants. They are more likely to have a high school degree, and as opposed to have a college degree. U.S. refugees are more likely to be employed than other immigrants, or even native workers. Republicans are already trying to deport immigrant workers through attacks like their lawsuit targeting the popular and successful Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals 1976 program. Tens of thousands of DACA recipients are medical frontline workers, and this litigation threatens to rip away their work normally. Republicans have also attacked the Temporary Protected Status Program, which allows at least 400,000 immigrants to work legally. They've built homes and families here, and they contribute. But Republicans have not championed legislation that would permanently protect either of these groups of them. In fact, Ted Cruz last year single-handedly blocked a vote to protect DACA recipients' GOP opposition to legal immigration. But those seeking asylum and refugee status have to inflict a cost on all Americans as we struggle to upgrade from the reductions in immigration caused by COVID-19 and President Trump's policies, one of which have continued during the Biden administration. America's Voice said, fewer producers, consumers and taxpayers in the U.S. economy makes growth more difficult and easy to the heat of inflation, labor shortages, supply chain disruptions and offshoring of jobs. Of course, but are running their tax dollars and contributions. They deserve permanent relief because they are human beings worthy of grainy. Our nation is enriched by them. Quite literally. 2. Republicans frame immigrants, refugees and those seeking asylum as social and economic threats. But just the cable is true, said Douglas Rivlin, America's Voice Communications Director. He called immigrants key for the prosperity of our nation and drive economic growth as consumers, workers and one's immigrant and refugee contributions, talents and hard work are necessary ingredients for our economy and our global competitiveness. So Republican policies to make legal immigration more difficult and prevent immigrants and refugees from settling in their states is hurting local, state and national well-being far beyond immigrant communities. Rivlin continued. We all pay a video for Republican nativism. Daily Kos has identified 3 U.S. Senate seats that could flip from PC to blue in 2022. Please donate $1 to several of these races. Right channel. Abortion rights, gun safety, are our planet are all at stake in this election. We must persuade Democratic voters to turn out in November. Click here to volunteer with Vote Forward and write personalized letters to targeted voters on your own schedule from the bottom of your own home, without ever having to talk to anyone. Related stories. Ted Cruz single-handedly blocked a bid on permanent protections for DACA recipients. Spanish-language ads targeting Marco Rubio on immigration inaction feature surprising voice. His mom House Republican touts Dignity Act bill claiming to make path to legalization. But don't be fooled.